On 90 Day, the single life the promise is simple: second chances, fresh starts, and the hope that past mistakes stay buried. But for 90 Day Fiancé Alum Colt Johnson, the past doesn't stay quiet. It pings, and this time it pinged loudly. The message that changed everything. It wasn't meant to be discovered. These things never are. A casual scroll turned into a pause. A pause turned into a stare, and that stare turned into the kind of silence that makes your ears ring. The words on the screen weren't innocent. They weren't friendly. They weren't something you could laugh off with a shrug and say, "Oh, that's nothing." They were intimate, personal, charged, and most importantly, secret. The person on the other end wasn't a coworker, wasn't an old friend, wasn't family. It was another woman. Again. A pattern nobody wanted to see for viewers who have followed Colt's journey across the franchise. This wasn't unfamiliar territory. There's a rhythm to it now, a cycle fans recognize with uncomfortable accuracy. Things go well, trust builds, walls come down, then the phone. Every relationship seems to reach the same crossroads, where emotional connection in real life competes with digital attention from somewhere else. And somehow, the digital world keeps winning. On camera, emotions don't get to hide. The shock, the hurt, the disbelief, it all unfolded in real time, raw and unfiltered. The confrontation, there's a specific look someone gives when they already know the truth, but are still hoping for a miracle explanation. That was the look across the room. Who is she? A simple question, a devastating one. Colt didn't answer immediately. And in reality TV, silence is louder than shouting. His hesitation said more than any excuse could. What followed wasn't yelling. It wasn't dramatic screaming. It was worse, a calm, shaky voice trying to process betrayal in real time. Because this wasn't just flirting. This wasn't just liking a photo. This was deliberate, secret communication that crossed lines no partner wants crossed. Why this hurts more the second time. The first time something like this happens, it feels like a mistake. The second time, it feels like a choice. That's what made this moment so heavy. Trust had already been rebuilt once. Forgiveness had already been offered. Promises had already been made. And now, the same wound had been reopened deeper. You could see the realization settling in. This wasn't a one-time lapse in judgment. This was behavior. Cameras don't miss the truth. Reality TV has a way of magnifying small things. A glance. A smirk, a nervous laugh. Viewers saw it all. Colt shifting in his seat, avoiding eye contact, trying to downplay what was clearly serious. It wasn't convincing, not to the person in front of him, and not to the audience watching at home. The producers didn't need dramatic music. The tension in the room did all the work. Digital infidelity in the modern age, this moment hit differently because it's so familiar to so many people. No physical cheating, no secret meetings, just messages, words, photos, emojis. But emotional betrayal doesn't need a physical location. It lives in conversations, in attention given where it shouldn't be, in intimacy shared with someone outside the relationship. And that's what made this scene relatable, painful, and unforgettable. The apology that felt rehearsed, I didn't mean for it to go that far. I was just talking. It didn't mean anything. The phrases came quickly. Almost automatically. The kind of lines someone practices in their head before they ever have to say them out loud. But apologies lose power when they sound familiar. And this one sounded very, very familiar. The breaking point, you could see the shift. The moment when hope turns into clarity. Not anger, not rage. Just exhaustion. The kind of emotional tiredness that comes from trying too hard for too long. The realization that love alone can't fix repeated disrespect. That's when the tears came. Quiet, steady, unstoppable. And Colt, for once, didn't have an answer. Fans react in real time. Viewers watching the episode weren't surprised, but they were frustrated. Social media lit up with reactions from fans who felt like they were watching history repeat itself in slow motion. Some defended him, many didn't. Because at some point, patterns stop being accidents. They become choices. A relationship on life support after the confrontation, the energy changed completely. Conversations became shorter. Eye contact disappeared. The warmth that once filled the room turned cold. It wasn't officially over, but everyone could feel it. The trust was gone, and without trust, what's left? Colt's struggle with attention throughout his journey on the franchise. Colt has shown a consistent need for validation. Compliments, messages, interest from others. It seems to feed something deeper than just ego. And when that need goes unchecked, it spills into places it shouldn't. This wasn't about one woman. It was about a pattern of seeking connection outside the relationship instead of nurturing the one right in front of him. The hardest question, why, not yelled, not demanded, just quietly asked. And sometimes, that's the question that hurts the most, because there isn't a good answer. What happens next? That's the cliffhanger that left viewers stunned. Can a relationship survive repeated digital betrayal? Can trust be rebuilt a second, third, or fourth time? Or does there come a moment when walking away is the only form of self-respect left? The episode didn't give clear answers, just emotions, raw, complicated emotions. A lesson bigger than reality TV. This storyline wasn't just drama for entertainment. It was a mirror for modern relationships, where boundaries aren't always physical and betrayal can fit in the palm of your hand. A phone isn't harmless when secrets live inside it. And sometimes, the smallest screen causes the biggest heartbreak. The silence at the end. The episode didn't end with shouting. It ended with silence. Two people sitting in the same room, feeling miles apart. A phone face down on the table, and a relationship hanging by a thread. Because sometimes, the loudest moment in a relationship is when nobody has anything left to say.